how's it going? I am Isaac Mang, and in this video I want to share with you guys some stuff with my Catch Pro bagger here because someone has asked me to do an update video, and this is it. I've actually already done a cleanup with the bagger, and you guys can go watch that video after you see this update. If you haven't seen my previous video, I explained that this bagger didn't fit, that this pin did not fit in the hole there, and the width of the opening here was not as wide as it is here. And I explained a little bit of my frustrations because this wasn't a cheap one. I think I ended up spending like around $400 for the bagger, having it come in and having to put it all together and then put it on and then it not fit was a little frustrating because I spent a lot of money and a good amount of time trying to put it together and it's not fitting. We have already done a cleanup with it, and here it is how it's fitting now, because I drilled this out. So I drilled out the hole that was there already, drilled out to a 1/2 inch. So I did have an email chat with Cory at Ballards Inc. and I told him that my frustrations wasn't really fitting well, and he told me, hey, I'll just you gotta drill it out. And I was like, now I gotta buy a drill bit. That's like $20, and for me, I don't like spending money, and another $20 is, you know, it takes a good amount of time to make $20 for me, and it's just more on top of the other $400 I had to pay for the whole bagger anyways. But so I drilled it out, and so it fits on there way better than it was before. It's hard doing this one-handed. Anyways, so it does sit on there well. The only problem is it still can't go all the way, so some of the leaves kind of shoot out here, and it just doesn't fit perfect. And I was just not going to be too nitpicky, although I'm still frustrated that it was a little bit of money. People have mentioned, hey, you just don't have it adjusted correctly, and this is actually adjusted all the way. So this is the last hole over here, and if I moved it anywhere over here onto one of these holes, that means there would be this would shift over here, and there'd be more of an opening here. It just seems that it's not wide enough for my mower, and I'm not sure if they make them wider or not, and I'm not sure if they have seen it on these kind of mowers. Maybe these ones are wider, I don't know, but that's kind of where I'm at now. That's the update, and this does sit on there pretty nice. I have used it to clean my own property and another property, which you can go see as well in another video. I showed the whole cleaning, and it actually does a pretty good job. It's not perfect, you know, I didn't expect it to just vacuum up the leaves and get every little one of them, because that's part of the mower's fault and not just the bagger's fault. And it does shoot out some of the leaves on the sides, which again, it's not gonna fully suck up all the leaves and throw it in the bagger. But that's just something to think about as well. It's not gonna be full suction perfect. Another thing that's annoying is this door here. It did get banged up a little bit, but the door just kind of doesn't sit there easily. You have to work with it sometimes a little bit to kind of jam it in there, and I'm gonna say I did rough around with it a little bit. You know, I might have bumped into a couple things and I dented a little bit, so that might be a reason why, but I think even before then it kind of wasn't as easy to close this door, and it kept getting caught up. The strap for this also broke off here. As you can see, it's broken apart. I could just fix that. Already lost the bolt for that one anyway, so I'm just leaving it like that. I usually just take this, put it in here if I need to, and that's how I use it. But overall, I can actually show you guys some piles here. These are, I think it's around, it's gotta be like 4 or 5 piles of the leaves mulched up, and it does a pretty good job. I get them pretty mulched up with it, which you can also see in the other video, but it does do a pretty good job. I mean, this whole yard was cleaned up without a rake, without a leaf blower, other than blowing the edges, so you can see how good of a job it did. And this wasn't completely covered with leaves, but it had a light amount of leaves, and it does a pretty good job. If it is heavier leaves, then it's harder because the leaves like kind of push and plow up, and it fills it up quickly and doesn't get the full mulching. But what I like to do is go over it like multiple times beforehand and then use the bagger for it. But what you also have to do afterwards is you have to rake it up if you want it looking clean, because the little fine things, if there's a ton of leaves, the little fine pieces of the leaves are like really caked up on the lawn. Those are just some tips to use with the bagger, and you can see it is sitting here decently. And we have done a few cleanups where we just cleaned it right up, and it did its job. It does fill up quickly, even though they do actually sell an extension part of it. I think it comes out another, I don't know, I think I would have to look at it. It comes out, I think, another like there for the extension part, but I'm not exactly sure. That would be a pretty hefty bagger though. This one, it's not super heavy, but it's got some weight to it. Another thing to be careful of is when you're using the bagger on uneven ground, you might drag the bagger if your deck's too low, and you might like ruin up the lawn or hit that against some stuff. I've learned the hard way, but it's sometimes hard to always pay attention to the ground level, but it's just, you know, part of the mowing job. You look at your surroundings. You always actually do want to keep the deck a little bit lower so the leaves don't blow out. If I had it all the way up, all the leaves would just kind of blow out. It wouldn't suck up all the leaves and throw it in there, and it wouldn't do the job I want it to. So make sure your deck's at a good height so the bagger doesn't just keep scraping on the ground, and that the deck has enough force and the leaves don't shoot out and into the bagger instead. Hopefully that everybody that was wondering and told me to go and talk to Cory, I did, and he did get me a refund on the drill bit to do it. Although it doesn't fit perfectly, I'm not gonna complain about it. It worked just as much as I needed it to. So thank you so much, Cory at Ballards Inc. And although it was expensive, still appreciate it. Thanks for trying to work with me and getting me that refund for the drill bit. I'll see you guys all later in my next video, so make sure you guys like, comment, and subscribe to my channel to see more content just like this, all my lawn care, finance, and real estate videos, and see you guys in the next one.